Okay, if everybody, if you don't know, so Southwest Asian American Journeys is a docu-series. We just saw 3 films from a 5-part series. There's 2 more incoming, and basically it shows the immigrant story like 15 years after the Vietnam War. So you saw 3 of those. There's 2 more that's coming, and the director is Queen Lei. She's actually really nice. She was able to join us at the One CLG Festival in Charlotte this past month, but she was not able to come today. But we do have Sachi, Fun, and Soon that are representing them as well today.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming down. Because we are running a little bit behind, I'm just going to get them to introduce themselves and tell you why it's so important for them to showcase the stories and the docu-series, and then we're going to go straight into Q&A. Okay? Can you hear me okay without the mic?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Sachi again, and I think it's important to share our culture, especially when most of it has been erased. This is my son Roman, and my husband is helping someone park, so he's just going to be here briefly with me till he comes back. Is that a question?
Hi everyone, my name is Foon. My role in this docu-series was being able to be an executive producer alongside my team at SEAC, and a part of our vision for this docu-series was to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Southeast Asian American resettlement to the United States. For a lot of our families, this is a time of reflection, but also mourning. And for us, we wanted to also educate the general public about Southeast Asian American experiences, because oftentimes under the Asian American umbrella, our stories aren't visible, aren't told, or not represented in the data. So we hope this series is an educational resource for you all, but also for the Southeast Asian American community members in the audience. This story is some place that you see yourselves and your stories being presented and being visible.
Hey y'all, I'm Soon. I actually work at the SEAC Village based in the west side of Charlotte. Right to my left is Kat, who founded the org, and also was really helpful in helping me to really come home to my identity in a lot of ways. I think SEAC has always been a political home for many folks, a home for folks to really understand their history, because when you know your history, you really know yourself, and in a lot of ways, I think that has really shaped who I am. I'm so glad to be able to be part of a story that highlights some of the work that I do, but also some of the intergenerational healing work that I think is so needed in the community.
Kat, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I was not a part of the film. I have been a part of SEAC for about 6 years on the board, and SEAC, as a director, I was asked to be on the panel just to talk a little bit about kind of the Southeast Asian American experience.
Just quickly, I want to see in the audience who was born in the United States. Can you raise your hand? Okay. Who was born not in the United States? Somewhere else. Okay, can you just stand up quickly and just say where you were born? You guys want to start? And we'll go way back.
My name is Keone. I was born in Cambodia. My name is Kim. I'm Cambodian but born in Vietnam. My name is Edelweiss. I was born in the Philippines.
Anybody, please stand up. Go ahead.
And I was born in India.
My name is Shoming. I was born in Shanghai, China. We have Kagi, born in Hong Kong, China. Cheyenne. This is my sister. I went to Hong Kong too. I am Roman from the Philippines. I was born in the Philippines. My name is Bridget. I was born in Venezuela.
Anybody else? Thank you so much, and also I want to say thank you for everybody to come on a Saturday to see all of the films and showcase, and hopefully we can you can join us at the after party. So I'm just going to quickly start the Q&A so that we can save some time and be on time for the performance and the awards as well. So anybody have a question? I can run the mic up to you. About the docu-series? Don't be shy.
This is a two-part question. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful docu-series. Really enjoyed it. The questions that I have are, how long did it take in the planning to put this together? And also, what was the initial inspiration in making these stories?
I can start with an answer, and then I'll let the fellow panelists also chime in as well. So the docu-series has been a culmination of planning from SEAC, Southeast Asia Resource Action Center based in Washington, D.C. And we knew that the 50th commemoration of the wars in Southeast Asia were coming, and we wanted to brainstorm some ways for us to honor the stories of our community members, and we settled on a docu-series. We're like, okay, is it long form, is it short form? But there were so many communities we wanted to talk about and share stories from, so it ended up being the docu-series that you see now, which will eventually be a full 5-episode series. So we've been planning it for a long time, and we were able to get connected with the Center for Asian American Media to be able to tell those stories. The SEAC team brainstormed the different storylines, and selfishly, I wanted to talk about the Monchere community in North Carolina. So I put the pitch out there, and the filmmakers traveled to North Carolina. I met Soon and Sachi, and that's how that story came to be. And the other stories were similar. We matched with partners that we've had relationships with, our partners in Minnesota, our partners in Philadelphia, our partners in Washington and California, and talked to them about, what's the angle or what story would you like to see your community talk about. So that's how those episodes came to be, and it's been, like I said, years of planning. And Soon and Sachi, I don't know if you want to also share additional insights in CAFF as well.
So I remember starting in September. I remember starting September of last year, so it was about a year-long process to do everything. Initially, when I met with Quinn, I wasn't really sure how she was going to do the documentary. She just followed me around and was, basically asking me questions, and I didn't really know how she was going to compile all our stories together, but I think, she did a really wonderful job capturing everything. So as far as like the inspiration behind everything, I feel like that's something, if she were here, she would answer a lot better. But overall, it was maybe 2 months of filming and then a year of waiting for the edit to be done.
Yeah, I think SEAC has had a long relationship with SEAC, so it just made sense from the time of CAT to even now. So I'm super grateful for that relationship building and continuing to be able to look out for one another. I also think it's really special to be highlighting an Asian community, and I think when you think about Asian, you think it's like this broad category, and you think about Southeast Asian, that's a little broad too. And then when you think about all these other communities within that, we really wanted to make sure that we shared stories of various communities that weren't uplifted or weren't highlighted. And I think that was really important in the dialogue that I had with the filmmaker and with SEAC. And I think last but not least, I think that, in North Carolina, we have one of the fastest growing Asian American population in the whole country. And I think that to highlight communities here in the South is really, really important, and being able to see who is here and to understand their histories and whatnot. I often think about the connection that I have with even when we were looking at the Hmong farmers in Minnesota, like how there are Hmong farmers here, just like a couple minutes away at the farmers market here in Charlotte, that are selling our flowers, that are selling vegetables that I go to frequently, and how a lot of these stories that we're seeing, yes, they highlight various communities, but the experience are similar and the same in a lot of ways.
Do you have any other questions from the crowd?
that the docu-series was really beautiful, and I felt like it was a really authentic experience and way of presenting such beautiful cultures and experiences. So I really appreciate the time and the clear effort that it took to create that work. I just have a question just in general about people who aren't a part of the culture and who may not fully understand. Like, I have, my ideas, but how can we support this work and support the community in a way that's thoughtful and well-informed and actually impactful?
I can speak on behalf of SEAC and the work that we do. We're a policy advocacy organization based in DC, and the policies that we focused on are about building justice and equity for Southeast Asian American communities through data equity, through health equity, through education equity, through like ethnic studies and things like that. So from that perspective, I would highly recommend just staying connected with us, signing on to legislation, talking to your lawmakers, and speaking about the needs that Southeast Asian American communities have in Charlotte, but also like across the country as well. Specifically for us, like we're really focused on data equity. Like Soon was saying, Asian American is such a broad term, and when we're collecting data about Asian Americans, there are certain groups that are performing really well, but Southeast Asians are not performing as well. But those stories aren't told because when you look at the data, oh yeah, like a lot of Asian Americans, have college degrees or have high-paying jobs, but for Southeast Asian communities, you saw the stories that we're talking about here. These are communities that are coming as refugees from war, from conflict, and may not have all the opportunities that other communities are not as established. So we want data equity so that our stories can be visible and our outcomes are visible. And so like policy advocacy is a great way, like learning about legislation that would positively impact and support Southeast Asian American communities.
I think as an organization that is Black and Southeast Asian, I think that we try to do work around like building solidarity and what work do you have to do before being in solidarity with communities. I think that's really important. I think like knowing who our communities are, who is our neighbor, what is their story, asking questions are super important things. But also, I'm hoping that this docu-series is utilized as a tool to in the education system, to talking about what other experience, and I'm on a tangent here, but when I was in high school, we learned about the Vietnam War for like a day, and it was mainly how the U.S., like what the U.S. and like from the U.S. side, and like it kind of felt like, well, this is my whole experience coming here, but why are like the Americans the main character in this when this has been my reality? The reason why I'm here is political, but yet like the communities that I come from aren't in these history books. And so, as much as like I think history is so important, but I also think understanding our communities and where people are and what brings people here is how we become good neighbors to one another, right? And so that is something that I hope comes out from this.
Thank you. I love that question. I think, there's particularly in areas that are just experiencing a lot of Asian Americans moving in, Southeast Asian Americans, like I think there's a magnetic pull always towards cultural activities and the fun stuff. Asian American Film Festival, which I was super excited was coming back. And those things are needed, but with our community, Southeast Asian Americans, I think, if you look a little bit deeper and look at the issues that impact us now, that's how you really get to know our communities. Like, it's great, go to Temple for New Year, like come to these events, enjoy. But if you want to get a little bit deeper and really see some of the things that we need help with as a community that's not an island by ourselves, we're in neighborhoods on the west side, we're in the neighborhoods on the east side, then what are the things we're facing? And I think in this climate, like looking at this movie and seeing our resettlement stories in the US with the farms and all of that, like for me, I would urge everyone in this room to also think about the deportation and people that are now, those folks who are now being deported to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, and are going through that resettlement journey again. But it's different, it's 30, 40 years later. And some of the things, because I work with those folks abroad, some of those things they go through are exactly what my parents went through, what we went through being kids of refugees, you know? So like these are the things that are kind of like not spoken about as much, and maybe in broad Asian American spaces are not even understood, because when you just group us all together, you don't see the challenges or the rich diversity of the individual pieces. So that's what I always tell people, like, yeah, come with me, you know, turn up, we'll go to Saigon Nights and sing karaoke, but also take a look at some of the things that we need help on. We need help to keep our people safe, to give them backpacks when they get deported, you know, and that's really when you build meaningful relationships. So I would just add that.
As far as how you can support us, so we have a multi-earned association here in North Carolina. We're located in Greensboro. That's where I work. That's where Isu works. He's retired, but he still comes and works every day because that's how passionate he is. Our goal is to have a community wellness center in the future. That's like our long-term goal. It's like a 30-year plan. So right now, we're raising the funds for that. So if you have a network of people that you can connect us with, or just share our dream of having a community wellness center, then that would be great. That's support in itself. And this community wellness center's purpose is to focus on mental health for elders, youth. There's information on our website about it, but it's also a place for us to create a farm and build tiny houses for our homeless elders, as well as have a soccer field, a volleyball field, and host clinics, and so much more. So that's one way you can support us. Or, you know, just give us a follow on Facebook or Instagram. We are the Multi-Art Association North Carolina. We had a name change, so sometimes I forget what we're called. But yeah, thank you.
Well, I just want to thank you everybody for being here and listening to the panel, but also want to throw out that QR code. Please vote for your favorite films that you saw today. We're going to have the award ceremony after the dancers presentation outside. So Sachi, Fun, Soon, and Kat, thank you so much for being here, and the rest of the family, thank you for coming. We're going to do like big photos after the award ceremony as well. I cannot.
Issue.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you guys for being here. Please come outside to the auditorium to see the dancers, and then we're gonna come back here for the awards. Please make your votes. We're gonna do that voting, public voting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good job. No, good job. No, being part of the panel.
I just wanted to be on a panel with you guys.
I love it. I love that.
Thank you. I'm so happy you were here.
Yeah, get in there, Sam. Oh, so your mom was talking. You were our biggest fan. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my, and the microphone.